Hey guys, it's Jack here today, and today we're going to be reviewing Meshuggah's Chaosphere. As I promised, I put up a advertisement video mentioning my review of this album coming up. So as promised, we have Meshuggah's Chaosphere. I recently reviewed Behemoth's Demigod as well, gave it a 10 out of 10. Just checking the TV as my game has finally loaded for later. It's been pretty slow. Possibly due to the weather at the minute. As you can see, I've got a new hat. It's been pretty cold here in England. But yeah, Meshuggah's Chaosphere. Just finished listening to it in time for the review. I love this album. Heard it a lot over the years, but had to give it another shot in time for the review to see how it still holds up. And yeah, still a great album. Lots of power on this album. Lots of yeah. It opens up with Concatenation. That's how you pronounce it, I believe. Great song, really sets the tone for the album into New Millennium Cyanide Christ. One of the best known songs on this album, New Millennium Cyanide Christ. This was the single and the music video. Always one of my favourites and go-tos. I cycled to this one quite a bit. Been into my cycling recently, so this is always one of my go-to tracks on the album. Corridor of Chameleons, another one of my favourites. Again, great atmosphere to this track. This whole album is really good for atmosphere. Neurotica is absolutely one of my top 3 favourites. I was debating whether I preferred Neurotica. Damn, my game has finally friggin' loaded after 5 minutes of literally buffering. Goddamn, hate PlayStation sometimes. But yeah, this is actually, this is actually a 2023 remaster of Chaosphere as well, which I only just noticed. But it sounds pretty much exactly the same, so good job for not changing it too much on the Meshuggah's part there. Or, well, the record label. Yeah, it's Atomic Fire Remaster. Atomic Fire is the label they're currently on, so yeah, good job. As a lot of remasters nowadays sound like crap. So yeah, Neurotica is absolutely one of my favorites. So amazing track. Again, lots of fucking great atmosphere and riffs for days on this track more than anything. Same with The Mouth Licking What You've Bled. The riffs on this song are unlike anything. I think this has got to be in the top 5 Meshuggah songs of all time. Lots of great technicality in this track as well. Carrying along with Sane, another one of my favourite songs. It's ironic because this song literally sounds borderline insane. But again, the way this song is played and performed is absolutely insane. Like, insanely good. Now we're on to the one song I like, but it's one of those songs that I kind of just hear while the album's on. Like, it's not one I go out of my way to listen to. And that is the Exquisite Machinery of Torture. Now, this is a good song, and I can see why it exists. I can see why it's a part of the album. I can see what they were going for. But I don't really personally like the whisper in between. I can see that it's a whole part of the Chaosphere vibe, you know, in between the more technical moments and the song we're going to get to last. I can see why it's there, but it's not one I'd personally listen to, and the whispering throughout kind of annoys me, but I can see why it's there. I can see what the band were going for. Decent track, just one that I could personally do without, but it's good within the context of the album. I just don't reach out for it. And moving on to what is objectively, in my opinion, the best track. It's not my favourite. I prefer some other tracks, Corridor, Chameleons, Neurotica, The Mouth, Licking What You Bled, and New Millennium Cyanide Christ to personally listen to. But in my opinion, this is objectively the best track on the album. Not my favourite, in my top 5 favourites, but objectively the best track. And that is Elastic. The way this song starts and then goes into that static for about 3 or 4 minutes, and that static is therapeutic. I was actually, when I just re-listening to it now, that static in between, like the technicality, like the real technical part of the start, and then you've got that real staticky noise, and then back into the riffs. That static in the middle is so therapeutic, and I could listen to that for hours on a loop. Yeah, the way this song is done is so unique, And I have heard a few songs with that static sort of in between or even right at the end, and not many of them do it justice. But I think on Elastic, this is the best example of it I've heard, honestly, on a song yet. And yeah, still gives me goosebumps on that bit in between with the static. It's unbelievable. It's not something you're going to want to hear all the time. It sounds just like the song's saying. It's even more insane sounding than that. This sounds like something that's come out of an institution. Yeah, as I said, starts off really technical, then goes into that static for a good 3 to 3.5 minutes. It's a while, and then maybe even longer, and then boom, like the riffs come back, and it's absolutely monstrous, just like the first half. And yeah, Elastic's one of my favourites, and I think objectively this is the best track on the album. The way it's structured is something to behold, I think. And I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10, and you're probably thinking, why not a 10 out of 10? And the reason is because of the exquisite machinery of Torture. As I said, I really like that song, and I can see why it's there, but it's not one I reach out for. The whispering kind of annoys me, but the rest of the album is top-notch, and I can see why some fans consider this their best. Like, some of the technical aspects of this album are among the best they've done. As I said, the mouth lick and What You've Bled is unbelievable. And yeah, I'm proud to own this album on CD. The remaster does it really good justice as well. As I said, some remasters sound like crap, but this one, they did it really good justice. So 9 out of 10 for Meshuggah's Chaosphere. It's actually not my favourite Meshuggah album, but it's one of them. I'm not going to ruin what my favourite Meshuggah album is just yet, because I want it to be a surprise, as I do plan on getting some more Meshuggah. I own Immutable somewhere. Spoiler, that's not my favourite. But I own Immutable, which I'll have to review at some point. But at the moment, I'm mostly sticking to Destroy, Erase, Improve, Nothing, Catch 33, that era, Obson, and then working my way back forward again, as I've been really interested in their stuff again recently. I want to try and get some of their more rare stuff, like the Pitch Black EP. But we'll see. We'll just focus on the studio stuff for now and see how we go. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, check out my Behemoth Demigod review. I recently gave that a 10 out of 10. Unquestionably one of their best, probably my personal favourite, but then the Satanist is nearest tied as well. But yeah, thank you all for watching. This has been Meshuggah Chaosphere album review. See you all next time.